Producer Tori is like that?
Yes, yes, yes. But most other spots, I mean, you mentioned the fog alerts, they've expanded. So we've got more today than yesterday. It's not just top to bottom, but now we got more the northeast into the foggy mix. And the rain is so far north.
Yes, in places that you would think 48.
I'm watching Mount Washington because they are 32 degrees and light snow. They could rain.
They could rain. That's at 6,000. I know. Wow. New Hampshire, 6,000 feet in the mountains.
Yeah.
Raining?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, rinse and repeat. That is the theme of challenges here, starting in a very soggy Milwaukee. Yes, rain. And thanks to our virtual view technology here in Veterans Park, you can see the rain, the fog kind of settling in like in so many cities. Make sure to give yourself some extra time to get from one destination to another, as both rain and patchy fog is going to reduce visibility on the roadways. And it's mild, 39 degrees in Minneapolis. Guess our average high right now, 30. That's the average high temperature, but we're sitting at 39 degrees in the morning. We've got rain that has moved through. The fog is left behind. Visibility running about a half mile. There is a wind chill factor making it feel colder out there. So overall, just a very raw morning in and around Milwaukee and up towards Green Bay, where it's raining now very steadily. Rain back extending towards Cedar Rapids. Minneapolis, not raining, but it's foggy, and we're sitting at 35 degrees. At what, 7 o'clock in the morning here, or 8 o'clock in the morning in Minneapolis. Now, we look at temperatures in Michigan, all the way up through northern Michigan. We are above freezing. Marquette, we're sitting at 35. So for everyone here, whether it's raining or not, it's all about the fact that it's above freezing. And that's causing its own problems. It's part of the reason why we have the fog. It's also why we've got these ice jams happening and driving some flooding concerns. So in Grundy and Will County in Illinois, near the town of Wilmington, we've got considerable risk of flash flooding here. There is ice jam flooding. There's been a water rise of about 3 feet. There's some evacuations that have happened. Flooding caused by an ice jam in the lower Kankakee River, but also from the snow melt and from the rain. So it's really everything coming together. Dangerous ice flows or shifting of ice here could also damage structures along the shore. So that's another concern for you right there. Also keep an eye on parts of the Vermilion River as well in Illinois. We're going to be watching the Iroquois River into Indiana. We're going to be watching that concern today because we see how mild it is with all green on the map. It's all rain. We get rain across Wisconsin, Milwaukee, more rain coming your way. We'll get rain across Michigan, lower Michigan, all the way up to the north, Traverse City. We've got rain coming your way. Detroit, it'll be rain, not snow. So watching, of course, what's going on, going from the upper 30s to the teens. But in between there is going to be a period of time where we change over to snow. Monday's forecast right now, high temperature of 36 degrees. As the cold air comes in, we're going to see snowflakes aloft. It's all about, can they make it all the way to the surface? And if they're heavy enough, they could. And so that's what we want to watch. I mean, the system that Greg just talked about is what we're going to be keeping an eye on. It moves through, it heads off the coast, the moisture gets thrown back into the northeast. And at this time, cold air is going to be tracking in. So it's all about the cold air. There's an old forecast adage I learned at Penn State, which is predict the high, predict the snow, because you need to have the high pressure, which is the source of the cold air, in order to get the snowfall. And so that's what we need to watch for. In this case, it really is truly all about the, how much cold air will there be, and especially at the surface, how much cold air will we have hanging around. So Sunday will be that transition day. We'll see the snow, I think, inland areas with a much better chance of piling up. We'll have to, again, this will be a nowcast really to see where the biggest snowfall rates are, to see who gets, maybe anywhere from 5 to 8 inches of snowfall, perhaps a little bit more. Now, let's watch this. Saturday with rain first. Pittsburgh, yes, rain. It comes in as rain, but then the cold air starts filling in, and we see that changeover. This is going to happen throughout the morning hours on Sunday, the New York State Thruway. We'll see that all the way in I-90 and the Mass Pike as we get through Sunday night, and then Monday hanging on to some snow. But for Boston, that moisture is pulling away as the cold air is filtering in. So we'll see. Boston, not a huge snowfall event there, but, a chance. And winter's not over. I think that's the key message here. Winter's not over. I mean, even when it's warm, and you mention this all the time, like when it's warmer than average in January, doesn't mean it's too warm to snow. Right, exactly. Exactly. Right. So, yeah. Well, 4 teams have battled the elements. Not many spots. Mount Washington was one of the few, but it's sitting right at 32 degrees. So there is cold air. You can see that in Maine. That's the only spot that's truly cold, like in Caribou, we were in the teens. That's it. That's all I can find. It kind of feels like spring is really trying to make an early arrival.
I'm not sure it's here to stay, but the fact that it's here brings the threat of severe weather.
Right. And that's going to ramp up tomorrow.
Yes, and we're going to be watching that in the south. Jen, thank you very much.
A lot of the active weather has been in the Pacific Northwest, which remains, again, the case today. And that's where we're going to see the rainfall and maybe some disruptions to travel. We have rain for you around Seattle. It's raining down through Portland right now. Medford is raining at the moment, and we're going to see that continue. You notice our temperatures are going up into the 50s. Snow levels are going to be very high. Yet again, this is another mild system coming in from the Pacific. We see that moisture getting steered towards the coast with rainfall continuing through Sunday, some of it heavy at times and adding up, especially along the coast. But even in the upslope areas, getting into the Cascades, this map kind of speaks to just how warm it is. We see rain in those upslope areas here, not snow. The snow levels are very high considering just how mild the pattern is. Rainfall, though, with the heaviness of it could cause some flash flooding. Got to watch right along Gold Beach, maybe down towards Crescent City in California. We'll see that rain continuing here as we get through, again, all day today and through the entire weekend, Greg.
Well, by the look